Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chum Change. This is live and recorded. For those of you that might be new here, we typically do is go over crypto news or news in general in the space. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. What is going on? Let's see who's here in the chat, and then we'll get into this. Mr. Leo Lustig, my man, Steven Cicero. Good to see you, buddy.
Perfect.
We got I Need My BTC, Andrew Masad. Good to see you, sir. Good morning. Dom G, Alexander. Good morning. 10 minutes to midnight. Cool Rip. Good to see you guys. Black Hat team. Anybody else I may have missed, I apologize. It's early and I'm tired. I'm working off 2 hours of sleep, so if we have hiccups, I apologize. All right, Bitcoin $63,604. Looking like we're gonna have some sort of a slight pullback today. Monday, we typically do see some sort of pullback, you know, before the stock market opens. It's usually how it goes. It's kind of interesting. People trade crypto during the weekends and stocks come back during the week. That's how it goes, right? Ethereum $2,600, pretty much 2606 to be exact. We get Solana 154 bucks. Now there's a video we're gonna watch today. I haven't watched it yet, but Altcoin Daily did a video. And can Solana flip Ethereum? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Be interested to know your thoughts. XRP 62 cents. Look at that. Wow, welcome to the party. XRP actually over 60 cents. It's kind of shocking. 38 cents over here. We got LTC at 66 bucks. This is actually over, or was over $70. Yeah, $70 this weekend. Crazy. Caspa pulling back. I actually just purchased some right before we went live. Caspa is under 16 cents at the time of recording, 15.99 to be exact. And there's some rumors about it being listed, I don't know, as soon as this week or so on Kraken. I don't know if this is actually going to happen anytime soon, but if you guys know, please let me know in the chat. ETC was over 20 bucks. It's actually 1981 as of right now. Let's see, anything else jumping out at me? Dogecoin's taking a little bit of a pullback, 6.25% actually. It's just under 12 cents, 11.9. Shiba's down 8%, almost 9%. Pepe's down 5.5% or so. Near Protocol's at $5.30. BNB is at 572 bucks. Not too bad, could be worse. Could be worse. Looks like BitTensor is up almost 10% today. Look at that. 576 bucks. Damn.
Perfect.
Should have got that when it was $299. I knew it. Mr. Pringle, good morning. Render is up a little bit today, 0.5%, just about $6.44. Not too bad. All right, moving on. Crypto Bubbles over here. Looks like Hex is down. Biggest loser of the day, 23.5%. to 1 cent, 1 1/10, I guess. 1 we got Aleo over here. Oh, this is that new coin that you guys were all mining. Wait, this is in the top 100 coins, ranked 14. Get the what? It's ranked 14th. $8.37 billion market cap.
Stop the cap.
Are you for real? What in the hell? Made channel, what's up? BTC bull run canceled. Uh-oh. Terrible. Yes, RX zeros have shipped. We'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. But man, I didn't know this. How did this get to 14th in the top 100? That's insane. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know anything about Aleo. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Yeah, I don't know if it's right. I have no idea. That's crazy. I literally, you guys just saw me. It's the first time I opened it. All the bubbles are moving around. Again, Shiba's down 8.1. ENA over here is Athena. It's up 10.5% to 39 cents. Again, BitTensor over here up 9%. Looking pretty good. If anybody's into that, congrats, because that you're literally almost at a 2x from like a couple weeks ago. Crazy. Conflux up 5.5%, 18 cents. Nothing else really jumping out at me. Yeah. All right. Flashbang Fear and Greed Index looking like a 61 over here. It was actually 63 yesterday. Last week it was more neutral in the 50s, but yeah, 61. Hopefully we see this needle even out tomorrow, come back into the center a little bit. That's gonna be my my guess anyways, with a little bit of a pullback we're having today. All right, let's see if that Aleo before I have to look. I don't think that's right. That market cap ain't right. You know what? It might not be here actually, because it wasn't on CoinGecko the other day. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap on CoinGecko. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, XRP, Lado Staked Ether, Dogecoin, and Ton coin over here in 10th place at a $14.6 billion market cap. We got Cardano Just behind that in 11th place, $13.6 billion market cap. Let's see if Aleo's listed here. Let me look, because yeah, it is listed here. It says fully diluted, yeah, it's 8.3 billion, but market cap's blank. Hold on, let me just hold on. So it's not on this list because if you look at, so the market cap, well, that's weird. Why is it blank on Aleo? Right, fully diluted on, say, Cardano, right, 17.2, and the market cap says it's 13.6, but Aleo doesn't have. Weird. I don't know. That's to be honest, I'm freaking stunned. I'm stunned that it has even that fully diluted value of 8.4. That's crazy. The info's way off. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That doesn't seem right at all. Interesting. I guess we will have to see. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you on that. I have no idea why Aleo shows over here in Crypto Bubbles. That's insane. Anyways, all right, moving back. Let's see. Caspa 32nd place over here. Again, 16 cents or so, just about. It's having a little bit of a pullback. There was some talks again about this getting listed on Kraken. I don't know if it's going to happen this week, or it's supposed to happen by year end. It's on the roadmap for year end. But there was some rumors going around that it could be as soon as this week. So again, take it with a grain of salt. I really don't know. All right, moving on to the mining segment of things. I want to watch a few things today, so we're going to kind of blast through this. We got the Bitmain Antminer AL1 Pro. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff, see where we were a year from now. These miners probably won't even exist, half of these. We got 16.6 terahash over here, $54.37 a day. We have the AL1 15.6 terahash unit at 5108. The AL3 15 terahash unit from Ice River is at 4881. We got the Antminer L9. Look at that, in 4th place. L9 climbed the charts. That's crazy. What in the hell? Sorry, Bitcoin miner threw me off. Sorry, 17 gigahash L9. We got $18.34 a day. We got the L9 16 gigahash unit at $17.26 a day. Again, this is at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. This is your profit after that 10 cents. The Bitmain Antminer S21E XP Hydro 3U unit. This thing is literally almost a petahash. It is 860 terahashes at 11,000 watts. This thing is so insane. $15 a day. That's freaking, dude, 11,000 watts. It is making $15 a day after you pay your electric. Can you imagine how big the electric bill is for that thing? This is freaking insane. That is so crazy to me. We got the KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit over here, making $14.96 a day, almost 15 bucks a day. The 20 terahash unit is making $14.25. Nice. Let's see. All right, we got the KS5M 15 terahash unit making $7.92 a day. Let's see, actually, the Ice River AL2 Lite. Look at this, 2 terahash unit, 500 watts, $6.43 a day. Actually, how is Lithium looking? Probably look at that. Let's see. Been pretty stagnant. Yeah, it's still floating around the same spot it was. It was like 161 last week, between that and 170. Yeah, so it's people are trying to get their money back, and I totally understand it. It really makes me nervous though. It's crazy how it's holding though. It's been, you got to give it to Lithium. It's been holding pretty steady in one price range, like within 10 cents for a decent amount of time. It's been like a month. No joke. It's been like a month. So, hey, listen, I hope it holds up. I really, really do. For the sake of everybody, the bot miners, obviously. The Bitmain Antminer L79050. You guys know I got this thing down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them if you're interested in hosting. Links in the description. 10 cents per kilowatt hour is better than my 30, so that's why I sent that down there. But the 9050 making $6.10 a day. Oh yeah, perfect. That's awesome. 3-year-old unit. Can't really complain. The AL Box 3. They have an AL Box 3 now. Jesus, man, they like. You could barely get this thing in your house and plugged in before a new one comes out. What the fuck? Like, I'm serious. It's crazy. Insane. 1.25 terahashes, 600 watts over here, $3.33. Jesus. We're gonna have the AL3 Plus in about a week, so you guys just mark my words, it'll be out. It'll be out in about a week. Oh my god. All right, we got the AL Box 2 Plus right here, 1 terahash unit, 480 watts, $2.66 a day. Man, it's crazy. AL Box 2 Pro, 950 gigahashes, $2.52. Insane. AL Box 2, the original, $1.88. AL0 over here, 400 gigahashes at 100 watts, $1.29 a day. Man, that's it?
Bruh.
That's terrible. That is kind of bad. We got the RXO. These things are supposed to be shipping, actually. A bunch of my VIPs just got their tracking numbers, so congrats to you guys. Hopefully get them sooner than later. 260 gigahashes for 100 watts, $1.17 a day. What'd you guys pay for these? Like 400 bucks, I think. Right here. Let me see. Nope. All right, I'm just gonna go to it. Let's see, where are we at? RXD miner over here. Yeah, 400 bucks, $3.99. Code chump gets you like 2.5% off, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about this machine. I really don't. How is Radiant doing? Oh my god, it's down. What the hell? It's down 12%. Holy shit. That's a big oof. I wonder if some people got theirs and they're just dumping it. Man, I wonder what the yield is. Like how much you actually get per day. What's the hold on. 260 gigahashes. All right, real quick. Network hash rate on Ethereum before I get off this page. I'll refresh it. 16.67. It's going to be closer to 19 at some point. Let's go to Radiant. They usually have a calculator down here. 260, is that what it was? So you're getting about 1,200, almost 1,300 Radiant a day. Yeah, it's $1.43. I mean, I guess you get a good bag if it actually runs up. Maybe. Let's see. Monster Pro says, can you imagine the more electricity I use, the more I have to pay per kilowatt? It's crazy. Wait, what? What? That doesn't even make sense. You should be paying less. The more you use, you should pay less. What? That's strange as hell. But yeah, this yield is actually pretty good. This yield's really good, actually. And the only saving grace I would say for Radiant is the fact that the market cap is stupid low. It's only 13 million. It's really not high. What's a lithium actually? I forget. 142 million. Even that's low. It's really not bad. It's ranked 346th. So lithium's still looking pretty good, right? I mean, it's easy to do 2x's with market caps that are this low. And I mean, this you could easily 10x on this market cap, no problem. It's ranked 1280. It's so like there's so much room to grow here. Hopefully this project takes off, and you guys, I mean, these little RX zeros could make you some decent money if it does have a run up. Because I mean, again, 1200 coins a day, almost 1300 coins a day. What in the hell just happened? Didn't mean to click on that. All right, anyways, let's move on to the news segment of things. I want to see what they got to say. This was a couple days ago, 3 days ago. AI investing, where investors should look for growth, over here in Yahoo Finance. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it. I'm going to bump it up to 1.2.
Well, the chip sector in general has been getting a boost this week. It's in part Micron. It's in part a new report from Bain & Company, which highlights that the market for AI products and services could hit up to $990 billion by 2027. To talk more about that is David Crawford. He's Bain & Company Global.
$990 billion. That's crazy.
Technology Cloud Services Practice Chairman and one of the authors of that report that got so much attention this week. So, David, thank you so much for being here.
Though.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So as you know, there has been an enormous amount of attention on this Gen AI wave, and presumably that's why you guys decided to dig a little bit more deeply into it. I'm curious, as you look at that up to 55% annual demand increase through 2027, where you see that coming from specifically, how that's going to sort of play out, and also how it's going to change over time.
Yeah, great question. I think we see three kind of broad pockets of growth. One is at the halo end, at high end of the market, where the large hyperscalers are racing to kind of build out the best capabilities. That's generating an enormous amount of demand that works its way back through the supply chain and creates just shortages in a spectrum of spaces. The second is enterprise adoption, where we know that trends are smaller models, more specialized models, open source, et cetera, but likewise requires computational capability. In some cases, they're using special purpose compute and so forth. That's the second big pocket. And then the third is the independent software vendors themselves building these capabilities directly into their products and running them in their own data centers. So between the three, there's just actually a lot of demand, and those three will interact over the coming years as well.
Do you see AI as being sort of fragmented looking ahead, David, globally? Meaning, is it going to be developed and deployed very differently depending on the countries, geographies?
Yeah, important question. We think relative to, say, something like a cloud disruption or big data, there'll be more interest in sovereign ownership, sovereign control, sovereign domiciled data centers and so forth, because it's broadly perceived that AI will be quite different in that it'll control culture, access to health and welfare, things like that. And so we think that the sort of state interests will play a much bigger role in the ultimate location of where all this occurs.
I was also struck by some of your research in this report on the size of different enterprises and what they're spending and how much that spending has changed over the past year. And, the bulk of enterprises out there are on the smaller side, so they are spending less as a function of their size. But are they going to be left behind? Are they spending enough? How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, we'll see as time tells. But yeah, we were astonished to see the rate at which, for example, in the report we published, the number of companies is spending over $100 million in their annual IT budget alone on AI. And with large enterprises, that's doubled. But it's not confined specifically to large enterprises. Smaller enterprises, whatever level they are spending at, has actually doubled as well. And so you can pick any kind of spend or IT budget threshold, and they're almost uniformly increasing their spend.
Interesting. All right, moving on. A little bit more AI stuff, I guess. Does NVIDIA stock still have room to grow, right? Obviously, NVIDIA being a huge proponent of AI. Let's do it.
NVIDIA shares are in the red today, off just about 1%, taking a breather from its most recent rally. The stock had closed higher 4 days in a row. The move to the upside on the...
This is about 2 days ago, obviously.
Back of CEO Jensen Huang no longer selling the chipmaker stock, at least for the time being. Also, some of that optimism playing out not only in NVIDIA, but more broadly the AI chipmaker space. That was fueled by Micron's strong earnings report. So here to discuss what might be next for NVIDIA, we want to bring in Richard Windsor. He's Radio Free Mobile founder. Richard, it's great to have you here. So talk to me about NVIDIA. Here we are today. We're seeing the slight move lower, but we have seen this return of optimism, to say the least, surrounding NVIDIA. Where do you think the stock is headed from here? Is there much room to the upside?
Well, I think it really depends on the overall macro. If you look at artificial intelligence in general, and you want to have a position in artificial intelligence, then NVIDIA is definitely one of the lowest risk ways to do that. Simply, if you compare that to other, particularly in the private markets, companies like OpenAI, where their valuations are far more stretched. Now, the question you have is over what do you think is going to happen to the market overall? Because NVIDIA has a high beta, it's very volatile. If the market sells off, then NVIDIA is going to go down more than the rest, because it has this high beta. And that's really what I think is going to go, certainly for the next quarter, because you're going to have no more data points out of NVIDIA until at least another 3 months or so. And so consequently, I think it's going to go back and forth, I suspect, in line or amplify the signal of the market rather than anything specific to NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking at a chart right now indicating that while NVIDIA was the biggest driver of gains for the S&P in the first half of the year, now Apple has taken over that top slot. Is that a bearish signal for NVIDIA moving forward, or is it a sign of more kind of volatility in the broader market? How do you read that?
Honestly, I think it's just more of a normalization. If you look at NVIDIA's year-over-year gains in the first half of this year, and also the degree to which the company beat expectations, it's not such a huge surprise that that was the major driver of the S&P in the first half. You look at it now, you're in a situation where very, very big growth is expected in the stock. The year-over-year comparisons start to become more challenging, and so obviously you're going to see the performance of the shares come back somewhat. And I think really that's all that's going on here, because simply if you look at the outlook for Apple, which shipped a brand new product without its main feature, and the outlook for NVIDIA for the second or the fourth quarter of this year, frankly, I would be more interested in NVIDIA than I would be in Apple.
So, Richard, when you talk about the upside here for NVIDIA, obviously I don't think it's much of a debate right now just in terms of the dominance of their position. But I think the question is what exactly that market share looks like 5 to 10 years from now. I'm curious how you see that playing out with the rise here of some of its competitors.
Yeah, that's a really great question. And the reason being is on a 5 to 10 year horizon, there are some very serious challenges to NVIDIA's position, because really what's happening is NVIDIA at the moment, all the key decisions are made around what silicon platform I'm going to develop my foundation model to. That's the key decision, and NVIDIA totally controls that segment of the technology stack. In 5 years' time, that may be very different. People may be asking different questions. So not worrying about developing to silicon, but maybe developing to the foundation model or higher up through the technology stack, where NVIDIA's current position is much weaker, and that gives its competitors a chance to get in. So long term, 5 to 10 years, yes, there's a challenge. Short term, 2 years, which frankly is more than the market really cares about, I don't think anyone is going to get close to NVIDIA in this generation. And so I think market share 2 years, pretty safe.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, NVIDIA seems to be a safe bet overall, at least in my opinion. All right, we're going to move on to the videos, but real quick, I want to read Douglas in the chat. Said, those of you playing risk on risk, buying ASIC after ASIC, why take the risk when AI is so much more profitable, dollar for dollar, and the resale for equipment far better each time? Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong, and that's a real good thing to think about. Like, I know a lot of people are going into the salad, and King, actually, the Mining King, if you guys don't know who he is, go check out his videos. He just dropped one this morning. I actually watched it. He was saying the 4060 Ti, actually, it might have been yesterday. Might have dropped it yesterday. But 4060 Ti, he was saying was the best budget GPU for getting into salad, like entry level, right? Yeah, I go follow him if you want any AI salad content. He does a lot of that stuff. Obviously, Vast AI is another one of those platforms that you guys can put your GPUs on, and I understand what Douglas is saying. Chasing the ASICs, it's almost like a losing battle. It really is almost like a losing battle, because again, the ASIC companies, they don't care about you. They care about making money. All right, so they're gonna just keep pumping it out, so you guys keep buying them, and they don't care if you make your money back on, you know, the ROI of these things, the break even of these things with what you're gonna actually yield. It just, they don't give a shit. So I don't know. I would just personally buy the coin. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not buying any machines, even though I like mining. I would rather just buy the coin. I think you have a better chance of making money that way right now. All right, let's get into it. Is Bitcoin due for a crash? We're gonna have to find out what Mr. Anthony Pompliano says. Again, I'm gonna bump this up to 1.2, even though he already talks fast, so he's gonna seem like he's on speed. I apologize. Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Everyone keeps asking me, are stocks overvalued? Is Bitcoin overvalued? What's going to happen with the market? This is the great debate that's raging on in financial markets right now. Now, of course, we have the Federal Reserve, which is cutting interest rates. We know the M2 money supply is expanding. We know that China is now cutting rates and cheap money is flooding into the system. But we can also look at stock prices at Bitcoin. All of these assets are at all-time high or near all-time high prices. That is concerning to all the bears in the market. Now, what's always cracked me up about the bears is that every single bear will tell you that there is a market crash right around the corner. They've been predicting a recession every year for the last 15 years. And yes, we had one, but none of them knew it was going to come because of a pandemic. And so you always have to be careful listening to the pessimist. But I've got charts and data to show you that maybe you shouldn't have as much fear as they want you to believe. Remember, optimists have data and history on their side. First, let's go take a look at the big tech stocks. What we can see is this chart from Michael Anatoli. He shows that their forward PE for the 24 months in front of us for the Mag 7 is actually half of what it was for the 2000 tech bubble leaders. Back in 2000, we saw that forward PE for 24 months was 52. Today, it's only 23.9. Then if we go and we take a look at the net profit margin, this far right column, you can see that the 2000 tech bubble leaders only had a 16% net profit margin, but today the Mag 7 has 28%. That means that a 24-month forward PE for the Mag 7 is half of what it was in 2000, and then the net profit margin is double what it was for those 2000 tech bubble leaders. This means that the companies in the Mag 7 aren't nearly as overvalued as they were back in that dot-com bust. But it doesn't just stop there. Nick Majuli, he came out with—
That was actually kind of interesting. I ain't gonna lie.
This great chart where he shows the U.S. stock performance during the 20th century and the 21st century. And he showed that there's a mean reversion. You see here that red line, that is the 20th century, and the green line, that is the 21st century. What's interesting about this is although we just had a 15-year bull market in this chart, we know that there has actually been stocks going sideways from 2000 to 2010. And so even with that recent bull market, we just now are getting back to the same exact trend that we saw in the 20th century. This means that stocks are doing what they did last century, this century. So that should give you confidence that, again, stocks are not necessarily outside of the norm. What's up, guys?
Oh, Shilling his new book. If you guys are interested, go check it out.
Hear what you think about the new book. Let's get back to the episode. But people always want to know, why do stocks go up? Why is it that if I go ahead and I allocate to one of these indexes, over the long run, we continue to see price appreciation? Brent Donnelly has a great tweet that he put out recently, and it's a simple yet important insight. He said that the simplest explanation for why stocks go up is not the Fed's balance sheet or passive flows or fake government economic data. It's corporate earnings. It's logical, and it explains many market mysteries, like why the Mag 7 has become such a huge part of the indice. They earn more money than their peers, way more money. Earnings obviously don't go straight up, but this chart shows you why it's so hard to make money shorting stocks. They have so many tailwinds, and shorts face many headwinds. There's borrowing, negative carry, risking infinity percent to make 100%. The worst companies are hardest to borrow against, etc. And so this chart from Sam Rowe really points out the S&P 500 quarterly EPS seasonally adjusted, put in a log chart, and you can see from 1935 to 2019, the trend has been 6.5%. Earnings are the reason why we have seen the stock prices continue to go up, and it's another reason why we shouldn't be so worried about current stock valuations. Again, Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is the most likely. Now, before we end, there's one more data point that I find absolutely fascinating. Wall Street Journal's Gunjan Banjari points to this chart showing that after the Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 50 basis points, which was kind of this jumbo interest rate cut, money market funds are still seeing strong inflows, even though rates are down. And so this money market fund flow continues to hit all-time highs, which is a major narrative violation. If interest rates are coming down and people can earn less in these money market funds, why are they continuing to put capital in there? My theory is that there's just more money in the system. We know M2 money supply is expanding, and so people have to put that money somewhere. They're gonna
Real quick, Jason Hamilton in the chat said stocks go up because they never stop printing dollars, which is, yeah, valid.
put it into stocks, they're going to put it into Bitcoin, and they are going to put it into money market funds. Now, also what was interesting this past week is that Lynn Alden and Sam Callahan came out with a brand new study that showed that Bitcoin is the single most sensitive asset to global liquidity. Approximately 83% of the time, Bitcoin moves in the same direction as global liquidity. If global liquidity is expanding, Bitcoin's going up. If global liquidity is draining, then Bitcoin is going down. The nice thing is that right now, global liquidity is expanding and Bitcoin price has been going up. And so I expect the expansion of global liquidity to continue, which means I also expect the expansion of Bitcoin's price to continue as well. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital asset. It is apolitical. No one controls it, and it continues to produce block after block of transactions. Because it has a finite supply, investors around the world continue to hoard it because they believe it is a great inflation hedge.
Perfect. Today's episode is brought to you by...
Oh, God, he freaking has two ads in here.
Today. According to whoever becomes the next president of the United States, there is the possibility that inflation will come raging back. If that is to occur, then Bitcoin obviously will do very well. But even if inflation does not rear its head again, we see that the global liquidity expanding and therefore Bitcoin's price is going to go up. But it's not just Bitcoin. I also expect stocks to do the exact same. I expect all assets denominated in dollars over the long run to continue to go higher. The dollar will be devalued. We need to monetize our debt. We need to have a currency that is weaker than it is today. And therefore, that means that asset prices will go up. You're going to see real estate go up and to the right. Stocks will go up and to the right. Bitcoin will go up and to the right. All assets priced in dollars, given a long enough time frame, go up. Because it's not so much about the asset, it's about the dollar being devalued. And the Federal Reserve and our politicians, they have nowhere to go. Their backs against the wall, they're in the corner. They have to devalue the dollar. That is the only potential path out of this problem. We have a spending problem in this country. No one is trying to fix it. There is neither major political candidate for president who's talking about balancing the budget or getting the national deficit down. Some of them are talking about trying to cut costs, but no one has the courage or the authority to go in and actually slash spending so much that we get back to a balanced budget. It's been more than 20 years since we've had that in the United States, and unfortunately, I don't think either candidate is going to do that if they become president. And so if we have a spending problem and there is no relief in sight, then of course it doesn't matter how much tax revenue they take in. We simply are going to have to devalue the currency in order to prevent some sort of massive national default. That's my base case for what we're going to see over the next decade. And so if you are an investor rather than a saver, you're likely to do best. Unfortunately, the savers are the ones who are going to end up on the wrong side of this equation. They're going to leave all of their wealth in cash. That cash is going to be devalued. And although they think that they are saving their way to financial security, they're going to find themselves falling further and further behind. The difference between an investor and a saver is an education gap. We need as many people in the world to understand in today's world with fiat currency that is devalued, you have to become an investor. It doesn't mean that you have to go and take immense risk. You can simply buy the S&P 500 and dollar cost average and plan to hold it forever. But whatever you do, if you simply sit with 100% of your wealth in cash, it is going to put you in a worse position in the future, all because the central bank and politicians know they got to print money. They're going to spend it. They're going to devalue the currency, and those holding the cash are the ones who are going to get hurt. And so ultimately, when I look at the current stock market, whether you think a crash is around the corner or not, what I know is that over the long run, stocks go up because the dollar gets devalued. And so depending on what your time frame is, it really makes the argument that you can go ahead and you can allocate into the market. And as long as you can hold long enough, as long as you never become a forced seller, then stocks will continue to do what they've been doing for centuries, which is to go up and to the right, whether it's for earnings or it's for the dollar devaluation. Data is pointing in one direction, and the investors are the people best positioned to actually benefit from it. And unfortunately, unless we can get the word out and we can educate people, it's the savers that are going to get hurt most. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment and let me know.
Shout out to Anthony Pomp for that. It was actually a good, that was a very good video. Yeah, I mean, you have to, obviously, yeah, investing is probably one of the best things you can do. It is one of the best things you can do, obviously in the right things, but you should have some sort of, you know, a little bit of cash reserve as well as invest. Don't invest everything because then you put yourself in a bad spot. It's good to diversify, right? To an extent. There's just, yeah, don't take too many risks because that's not smart. DJ Mine says, no way the US has given up the world power to fully adopt Bitcoin. That would just help other countries gain power. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong on that. All right, let's get over to Mr. Lark Davis. Crypto's perfect storm is here. Let's see what he's got to say. I'm going to bump him up to 1.2 as well. Let's do it.
So we could be on the cusp of a reverse market crash, aka a final melt up, the final big, fat, juicy, thick, yummy leg of the market cycle with a perfect storm of events brewing right now for the cryptocurrency market. That's actually pretty shocking. We get into it, and let's just go ahead and do that. Get the heck into it. So this guy summed it up pretty well over here. We got some huge stuff going on here, okay? World's biggest economies, USA and China. Aggressive rate cuts have started. China's going like hardcore into rate cuts. USA is going hardcore into rate cuts. This means that money in the world's two biggest economies just got cheaper. China's injecting over 2 trillion yuan, it's about a $250 billion US worth of stimulus to boost its economy. Chinese economists, prominent Chinese economists, have been calling for as much as 1.4 trillion US to inject into the economy. We shall see if that plays out or not. This could just be the first tranche of massive money injection. China's going to start handing out stimulus checks, and of course, when people in China start getting their hands on stimulus checks, you know what they're going to buy? Moodang. Moodang, the baby hippo, man. Baby hippo coin. I have no idea if they're going to buy that, but some of that money is going to go into some pretty stupid stuff. Let's just say that. Chinese stocks had their best week since 2008 due to, of course, massive government intervention in the economy. U.S. stocks at all-time highs, probably going to push up higher. S&P 500 could get up to 62 to 6,400 by the end of this wild run that we've been on. October's coming. October's usually the best month of the year. Q4 is usually the best quarter of the year. Okay, U.S. elections are coming up. Historically, U.S. elections have been a major turning point for markets where we see, you know, huge continuation higher. So many good things happening out there. 6 months post Bitcoin halving. How about that? How about that? Okay. A lot of good stuff. Even the FTX money is coming back. However, a little nuance with this story, but we're seeing this story get reported that next Monday, the FTX money is going to start coming back to creditors. That's not exactly correct. Okay. So this guy here saying October 7th, the crucial court hearing will take place, confirm FTX's Chapter 11 reorganization plan for approval to pave the way for payments to begin. Post-hearing payments are expected to occur following additional hearings scheduled for October 22nd, November 20th, and December 12th. Distribution would start within 60 days of the plan becoming effective, but only for claimants of less than $50,000. Bigger claimants will get distributions in Q1 2025 at the earliest. Other hearings are separate. So the money is coming. And maybe the FTX money will even, in a way, mark the top of the market. It's like, we'll see. We'll see. There's always a top event, isn't there? The one that everybody assumes is going to be like, yeah, it's going to be the one, man. And hey, if you have your money stuck in FTX, screw Sam Bankman-Fried, that piece of crap. What a dumbass. All the dude had to do was just keep running his exchange, man. They're making millions of dollars a day in fees. It was one of the most popular exchanges out there. Nope, had just put his let's just say, I was going to say something dirtier, but let's just say he put his finger in too many pies. Anyway, let's continue the price on Bitcoin. Still over the 200-day, still moving average. Like blue line the chart here. That's a good thing. We like that. Could still see a retest of this area down here. Wouldn't blow my mind at all. Would even be a bit healthy, to be honest. But will we get it? Don't know. We'll see what happens over the next few days. Before we get into the next few charts, I want to share this with you. If you're a cryptocurrency...
no. Fucking chilling bullshit. Hold on.
Trader. This one's great. The mid-curve meme. I feel like there's no place in crypto for mid-curvers. The apes. So we're going to 250K.
Very true.
The wizards. We're going to 250K. The mid-curvers. Oh, imagine thinking $250,000 is realistic. Mid-curvers. Get out of here. Great chart here from Crypto R Us. peak to peak, 1,435 days. If this remains true, which is probably not going to remain true, but if it remains true, then in 383 days, a single Bitcoin cost upwards of $210,000, which lines up with the 3.618 Fibonacci lines.
That would put us right. Well, at that point, that's like December, January, right? Right in between 2025 and 2026. No, sorry, end of next year. My bad. But that's usually it's typically longer, isn't it? It's not going to be the same. Wasn't it shorter before this? 1435. It wasn't like, I don't know, under 1,000.
I like it. Now, will that Bitcoin 4-year cycle, essentially, is what this is saying? Will the 4-year cycle actually play out, or will we get an early cycle top? I still have this feeling like maybe March, April, and I don't know. We'll adjust our opinion if we, as we see what the charts are showing us and what's actually happening in the market. Maybe we get a weekly MACD bear cross in March, April, and it's time to get the heck out of the markets, right? We'll watch out for these sort of things to be playing out. But maybe we get a first top in March or April and a final top in October, November, right? The usual summer malaise for the markets. Anyway, 210K, I dig it, man. I dig it. Titan of crypto, green light for the next major move. Confluences are, well, confluencing, I guess. They are aligning together. So the stochastic down here starting to trend up. Of course, you can see the RSI breaking out of the downturn. This is on the weekly chart. We talk about this stuff. 50-week simple moving average acted as support. We are bouncing higher off of that currently. First stop, 100K. Second stop, 150K. Last stop, if we get there, $200,000, or a little bit over, around $215,000. Of course, our W chart here could bring us up to retest that previous high at 74K. Still looking solid. Retest down here at 64K would be fine. So don't be surprised that happens. Now let's talk about some altcoin news. Sweet. Big unlock happening. How much of an unlock? $100 million worth of unlock. That's a lot of coins, man.
Jesus.
That's a lot of coins. 64 million SWI are going to be unlocked.
Is anybody into SUI?
Into the markets.
Let me know.
It's a lot of coins, man. A lot of coins. Now, that's got me thinking. You see, right now, we've been kind of consolidating here after this big run to $1.78 recently. Of course, we had that very overbought RSI, so maybe we cool off a little bit with that unlock coming. Maybe it brings us back down to $1.45 or even to a lower target around $1.20. Probably an interesting area to be accumulating in down there. Of course, the market's just switched mega uber bullish and everyone.
They're unlocking that many coins. That it can't be good for the price. That can't be good for the price.
Just, screaming new paradigm of money about everything. Yeah, maybe the unlock doesn't really matter all that much. But there's potential the unlock could see a bit of
dump.
Let's say price correction coming into the market potentially. So something to watch out for.
Dump. It's going to dump.
Avalanche. My avalanche bags. What is up? If you ever want to see what my portfolio holdings are, current holdings, private sale investments, all the other stuff, you can find a link to that down below in the description, pinned comment over on X as well. Plus, you'll find a risk statement on that page because guess what? Investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money.
Yeah.
Like that. It's a crazy market.
Don't
anyway,
trust people on
Avalanche,
YouTube.
Retro 9000, up to $40 million in retroactive grants for Avalanche Layer 1s. Avalanche 9000 is going to be a massive, massive upgrade for the network, make it so much easier to launch those Layer 1 networks and just a lot of fine tuning to make Avalanche way cooler. So with Off the Grid launching, that's that super hot looking game coming up here pretty soon. Off the Grid's coming up with launching in the next 6 to 8 weeks. I've seen some rumors saying, so that'll be pretty cool. Of course, they got a big investment from, I think it was Delphi Digital the other day. So a lot of excitement around that, which of course is an Avalanche Layer 1 built on Avalanche. And we're seeing so many other big things lining up for Avalanche that it remains, I think, a key Layer 1 bet for this market cycle. At least I got my coins allocated. This meme hits hard. I like men who take risks. When I'm in profit, I take a screenshot and post it on X instead of selling.
That's
Guys, the
so
screenshots
true.
aren't worth shit. Remember to sell. Put some actual money in your bank account at some point during this bull run, okay? Okay. This is crazy.
That's going to be the hardest thing to do, to be honest, for all of us, is to sell when we should sell and not just hold it or, miss the boat. It's gonna be one of those things. You're gonna have to fight for it.
6 out of the top 11 coins in terms of volume are freaking meme coins, dudes. Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 2 spots, of course. Pepe, $4.7 million in volume.
Holy shit.
How weird this market is. Again, it just blows my mind. It must approximately still be.
Pepe is surprising where like the whole trading volume. That's crazy. 4.7 billion. That's unreal.
We haven't looked at the exact numbers today, but Aave and MakerDAO, the 2 most important money protocols in the entire cryptocurrency market, combined are worth less than Pepe, a frog coin. That's ridiculous. Solana here in third place. XRP still getting some pretty good volume, actually, $26 billion. Dogecoin, the OG, of course. Pepe doing twice the volume of that, though. Ouch. Shib's getting some attention recently. Sui, of course. Everyone's very excited about that recently. Whiff not bonk. That's insane. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, memes are dumb. And yeah, I mean, memes are kind of dumb sometimes. And everyone this week is just, you know, going crazy over a baby hippo meme. Anyway, they are kind of silly. They are. Tokenized culture, whatever you want to call it. The truth is, people love buying this shit. People love trading this shit. And you can either understand that or ignore that. And at some point, fundamental coins will catch up. But memes have just been so normie friendly. People love them. There's nothing to understand. You don't need to understand complicated tokenomics. You don't need to understand what oracles do or what CCIP does, or you just buy. It's got a dog picture. I like dog. They put a hat on this one. That's really cool. I'm going to buy that one.
Jason Hamilton says, take a profit is only for the rich. To truly be properly poor is to sell at a loss.
Dogs. Elon Musk.
This is hysterical. This is great.
Department of Government Efficiency. Elon is back to Doge posting. And apparently Trump reshared that or put it on his Truth Social website. Whatever. Anyway.
We need this to happen.
If Elon goes full Doge memeing again, watch out, guys. When the normies come back, see, everybody who's been in crypto for a while, we see Elon doing this, where it's like, whatever, shut up, Elon, nobody cares. When the normies come back, and they're far from back yet, okay? Coinbase is still number 400 on the App Store or something, right? But when the normies come back, when the price goes up, when we hit beyond 74K, and number go up, technology gets activated, and people start getting really excited about crypto again, then stuff like this can really have a big impact, because people say, "Holy crap! Oh, Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin. I better go buy some."
Yep,
at $1.
Doge's gonna get a boner candle. We'll all be rich. Every one of us.
Hilarious.
2025 is gonna be fun. Hadouken. To you, Mr. DJ Mines.
Perfect. Talking about Mudang. It was alpha. Mudang at $300 million was alpha. It's gonna bring TikTok to crypto. Be honest, I just wanted exit liquidity. Thank you.
I don't even know what the fuck Mudang is. Is that hippo thing he's talking about? Yeah.
Crazy stuff, man. Hey, smoking. Speaking of silly memes, smoking chicken fish.
All right, he's talking about a whole bunch of dumb shit. I'm done listening to it. All right, moving on. Thanks to Lark for that video. Buy Solana today and get rich 2025. Do you guys think it's honestly going to flip Ethereum? Let me know in the chat. I'd like to see you guys argue.
There's a growing belief that Solana is going to surpass Ethereum and skyrocket in 2025.
And this is really why we believe Sol is going to flip ETH in market cap.
I mean, the Solana price on its own has been steadily climbing. The Ethereum value market cap has been bleeding into BTC and Sol. I mean, we see that in the Sol versus ETH valuation. Solana has been outperforming Ethereum this whole year.
And so if you believe that the metrics on the prior three charts are going to continue in the same direction, then it's pretty reasonable to conclude that the ratio of this chart is also going to continue in the same direction.
Managing partner at Multicoin Capital, Kyle Samani, backs this up with some pretty interesting data.
First, of course, blockchains are financial systems. I've been talking about trading for the last few minutes. And on-chain trading is, in our view, the most important metric for a blockchain.
So this is comparing DEX volume on Solana versus DEX volume on Ethereum. Solana is outperforming.
Over the last year, we've seen Solana DEXs basically come to rival Ethereum DEXs. Some weeks, I believe every data point here is weekly. So some weeks we're seeing Solana is higher than Ethereum, other weeks it's less than Ethereum. But it's today effectively on par with Ethereum in terms of daily trading volumes on chain.
Many people attribute the growth to Solana's 1, better UX, but 2, cheaper fees. And again, this channel will point out both sides of the issue. That's why you subscribe to Altcoin Daily. But I do believe a big reason that Solana is gaining on Ethereum is because so much of that network activity is being offloaded into the L2s. I mean, actually, that's clear. That is where the value is going. And maybe you would say, well, Austin, that all counts for Ethereum anyway. But because many of these have different tokens, the value is accruing on these L2 tokens. So that actually does support the thesis that if trend continues, Solana is going to accrue value at a faster pace and potentially flip as Ethereum value accrual is more fractured.
But Solana, I think, was so distributed during the bear market, like so many of the big entities had to sell it off.
And that's true. While Solana coin distribution, especially in the early days, was a bit more centralized.
Solana, I think, was so distributed during the bear market, like so many of the big entities had to sell it off.
The sell-offs during the last bear market really helped with that.
We've seen really strong support right around this 110 to 125 range.
Watch today's whole video for a special Solana trade I want to share with you.
Next, I want to look at actual direct value accrual to SOL the asset versus direct value accrual to ETH the asset.
But just looking at another fundamental metric, Solana has caught up and at times started to surpass Ethereum in economic value generated from MEV, or maximal extractable value.
As of today, Solana again is effectively caught up to or is rivaling ETH on this metric. This is looking at the total validator tips paid to ETH stakers and SOL stakers in these respective systems. Some weeks Solana's higher, some weeks ETH's higher, but again, these metrics are more or less neck and neck right now.
And again, if that's too confusing, just understand it's a fundamental green flag for the network.
And then the third metric I want to look at is stablecoin transfers. Here, Solana is still well behind Ethereum, but I want to look at the relative ratios here. About a year ago, Solana was at roughly 1/10 or 1/20th of daily on-chain stablecoin transfers relative to Ethereum. Today, it's roughly half. So it's caught up by a ratio of roughly 5 to 10x, depending on exactly how you want to measure it. And again, we think this is key to show that, hey, money is moving around on-chain.
So this all suggests why Solana has been catching up to Ethereum. But will it flip it? What can we expect with Solana in the future? And there's really 3 big structural advantages that the mainstream media won't talk about. I will.
All right, now I want to talk a little bit about the future for Solana and why we think it has a couple of, really 3 unique advantages that we think are going to be basically impossible for the Ethereum community to recreate. The first is token extensions. Token extensions went live earlier this year on mainnet. Token extensions provide a lot of features that Wall Street companies want, or that payments companies want, or any major asset issuer around the world. Those include features like interest-bearing tokens, so like if you want to have stable coins on chain with it earn yield. If you want to be able to have confidential transfers, so you can hide sender and receiver. If you want to do ability to issue and revoke assets, and a whole bunch of other features that in this kind of bucket of ideas. And all of these features were developed based on direct input from payments companies and Wall Streets over the last few years. And all of this is live on mainnet today. It's 100% free, 100% open. All the documentation is open and available.
So token extensions is number 1. And this is actually the reason that PayPal chose to launch their stablecoin on Solana.
The first major token using token extensions is live now. It's called PYUSD. It's PayPal stablecoin. It went live a few months ago.
So this is why we're seeing some of this institutional adoption.
And regulated finance is only ever going to come on-chain at scale if they have all of these collection of features. And all of this stuff is just built into Solana L1 natively, and it's ready to go.
Solana Fire Dancer is obviously one of their most anticipated structural advantages still coming.
Fire Dancer is a new Solana client, expected to go live in the next few days or next few weeks. I think they're announcing the dates tomorrow at Breakpoint. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Fire Dancer is a new Solana client being built by Jump Trading.
Actually, it's live on testnet now. Still unclear when this will go live on mainnet. And essentially, this will just make things so much more scalable, so much faster.
This thing is going to scale, it's going to be fast, and it's going to allow everything that we like about Solana, the composability, the no bridging, all these things will just magically work even better under Fire Dancer.
And the third major structural advantage for Solana is the ability to scale with hardware.
One of the foundational design principles of Solana is the focus on scaling organically with parallel hardware. And it's always been talking about this since day one. I've been talking about this for years. And the idea is very simple. Is if you double or triple the number of cores in the system, you would hope that the performance would double or triple of the system. Very straightforward idea. This is obviously generically a good idea because of Moore's Law over the last 50 years. As core counts have grown, especially over the last 10 or 15 years, systems that can take advantage of that have gotten better in terms of performance. But this is actually particularly important today because of the renaissance happening in AI. There's now more capital going into the entire silicon value chain from design through manufacturing, and that's growing at the highest rate in both percent terms and absolute terms in the last 30 years. And this is all because of this AI renaissance. And all of these AI chips that are being built by all of these different startups, NVIDIA, AMD, everyone, all of these chips are massively, massively parallel chips. Not all of them will work for Solana, but it doesn't matter. You only need a couple of them to be applicable. And those are going to help drive the performance of Solana even further. What's so amazing about this AI renaissance is that it has absolutely nothing to do with crypto. No one in the Solana ecosystem has to know or care about any of the stuff going on in AI land. And you just have like an incremental $30, $40, $50 billion of R&D happening across all these various companies. And all of that labor and energy is going to produce a better Solana network. And like, those are the kinds of really foundational bets that you have to make at the core of the design of the system in order to win what is going to be one of the largest markets in the world, which we think is decentralized NASDAQ.
Now, my personal opinion on all this is, first off, just plain and simple. In bull markets, you want to bet on the altcoins, especially the lower cap altcoins outperforming. And in bear markets, you want to bet on Bitcoin, where the higher caps outperforming. If you believe we're going into a raging bull market in 2025, as many experts do, then I do think it's a smart play to bet on the outperformance of the altcoins, especially lower cap. Also, I will say, looking at macro, the Fed just cut rates, the European Central Bank has been cutting rates, China is now stimulating their economy and cutting rates. 2025, from a macro investing standpoint, does look risk on. If you got value in today's video, hit the like button and click subscribe. We are so close to hitting 1.5 million subscribers who tune in for one video per day to learn about crypto. What's the one altcoin you love trading when you're not trading Bitcoin?
Solana.
Now, in my journey to learn about trading and just get better at it, I think many of you watched Simple Method to Make $100 a Day Trading Cryptocurrency, where we go over the risks. We go over simple strategies, the benefits, the negatives. Watch this beginner's guide if you haven't. But in this never before seen footage, this is a continuation. Sam of the My Financial Friend YouTube channel gives me an interesting strategy when trading Solana.
If Bitcoin goes up to 100,000, right, way up here, you would think that Solana would do really well, right? Like Bitcoin dominance is relatively high right now compared to what we've seen in the last few years. You would think Solana maybe does, I don't know, instead of doubling, maybe 3x's, right? Bitcoin dominance goes down, Solana 3x's. Let's say you're using Solana as a collateral.
By the way, follow along on Exchange Partner.
Nope.
Link down below. And remind us why you like Margex. That's the platform we're using. Then we'll jump in.
Yeah, so there's no KYC, meaning you don't have to give out all your personal information. I think we all see data breaches almost every day, it seems like, with all your personal information. Maybe if you own 100 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin on an exchange, you don't want people to know who you are or your social security number.
First, don't own 100 Bitcoin on an exchange. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That is a lot. That is way more than a lot. You don't need to do that. Please don't do that.
Or anything like that. So you don't need a KYC, you don't need a VPN. You can get set up in just a few minutes after checking the terms and conditions.
And obviously not your keys, not your coins. So if you're not trading it, don't keep it on exchanges. Common safety with crypto. This was the trading tip though.
Tangem link is in the pinned comment. If you guys don't have one, please get it. It's the most convenient wallet on the planet.
The Edge.
One of the really cool things that they have is you can use different forms of collateral for trading, which is one of the strategies that we'll be talking about today. Which I don't know any other exchange that does this.
So that basically means for individuals that want to trade the stability of the Bitcoin price, but want to offer up maybe an altcoin they made bank with as collateral instead of cash.
Let's say you want to trade Bitcoin because it's got the most liquidity. It's got some volatility compared to normal assets, but it's not moving around, quite as much as a smaller crypto or a meme coin or something like that. You're trading the Bitcoin chart here. And you can use all different forms of collateral, from Bitcoin to Solana, USDT, Caspa, XRP, ETH. And that is actually the first strategy that we'll talk about. It's using different forms of collateral. A lot of people naturally use USDT for trading, or maybe they'll trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin, right?
So if that's unclear, here's an example of how that may provide traders with an edge.
Right? Let's say Bitcoin goes from 50,000 to 100,000. It doubles, right? And you're on 10x leverage. Great. You get a huge return, a 10x, right? You would have, instead of $100, you'd have $1,000 or $1,100 because you made $1,000. If Bitcoin goes up to 100,000, right? Way up here. We've never been there. People are excited. People are putting their life savings in Bitcoin. Like, people are coming out of the woodwork to try to buy more Bitcoin. You would think that Solana would do really well, right? Like, Bitcoin dominance is relatively high right now compared to what we've seen in the last few years. You would think Solana maybe does, I don't know, instead of doubling, maybe 3x's, right? Bitcoin dominance goes down, Solana 3x's. Let's say you're using Solana as a collateral.
And here is why using an altcoin like Solana as collateral may be.
All right, can I just, real quick, it does feel like they're just shilling this exchange. Please, guys, leverage trading is, unless you know what you're doing, please stay away from it. Plain and simple, just stay away from it, because you will lose your money, 1,000%. You have no idea what you're doing, you're going to lose your money, period. If you know what you're doing, then sure, have at it. But please, I recommend just trade normally and stay away from it.
Be a benefit.
And Bitcoin, you went up, to 100,000. You would have still that 10x on the Bitcoin trade. But let's say you had Solana instead of USDT, right? You put in $100, you have $1,100 in USDT, or you use a Solana or half a Solana, whatever it is. Let's call it.
So the thing he's not telling you here is, if you put in a leverage trade and you say you put it in here and tides turn on you and it goes down a certain percent, you're getting whacked and you're gonna get liquidated, because the higher the leverage, the least room you have to go in the opposite direction before they wipe you out.
On Solana, you would then have 11 Solana, you'd get a 10x return, or you'd get 1,000% more, right?
Yeah, and if I got fairy dust, I could fly.
But the Solana goes up in value from $150 up to $450. It triples. So again, your US dollar value of that trade has gone up exponentially. Your Solana was the collateral, so it's up at 11x, but again, it's worth a lot more. So it's a way to play Bitcoin dominance
I don't understand.
that you can't do in other ways that I've seen. Like if you're thinking Bitcoin dominance is going to go down and you think Bitcoin is going to go up, you can make a lot more money. You can really outperform based on this ability, which I just haven't seen on other exchanges.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, they're just shilling this shit. They're just shilling the stupid exchange. Not playing that game. All right, moving into the recap segment of things. Shout out to Altcoin Daily for that video. I almost want to take the like away though, because goddamn, they were literally just chilling it. That was it. They literally taught us nothing the whole end of that video. All right, Bitcoin over here, $63,865. Anybody just joining? Ethereum is at $26.29. Solana, $155. We get XRP finally joining the party, over 60 cents at 62.9, almost 63 cents. We got Litecoin over here at 67.25. Caspa back over 16 cents. It was just under 16. I actually purchased some this morning. I put $1,000 into Caspa. Let's see, we got ETC 1989 over here. Sui is up 3.82% today to $1.75. Let's see, we got Dogecoin is still down almost 5.5%. It's at 12 cents though, not too bad, could be worse. Shiba is down 7% today. Near Protocol is at $5.31 to 2% down basically today. We have BNB at $575, down just about 4% today. Again, the market's open in a little bit, about an hour and a half. So yeah, usually red on Mondays. That's typically what we end up seeing. Over here, nothing really changed on crypto bubbles. Hex is still the biggest loser, 14.1% down in the day. It is at a penny, almost a penny and a half. Aleo is down 11% today to $5.72. I am still not understanding this whole market cap thing. $8.58 billion market cap for Aleo. I don't think that's right. 14th, it's ranked. I don't know. I'm really confused about that, actually. You know what? I kind of want to go. I'm gonna go to coin market cap in a second, but this is the market cap's just kind of dashed out, and the fully diluted says 8 billion. So I don't know. Let's go to coin market cap real quick. Ooh. Dark mode. Thank you. Yeah, it still says market cap 8.5 billion. Wait, so I'm confused. Circulating supply, it says it's all mined. It's all out. $1.5 trillion tokens are out. Is that true? How are you guys making? How are you mining this? Just off fees? Like how is this? How does this work? It says 100% of it's mined out. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's why the market cap's reading like that, because it's all mined out, or it's all in supply. It's all circulating. I don't believe this. I don't know. Something's weird. Something's not right. Take profits, people. My opinion, don't fucking hold it. Just sell it if you're trying to make money. All right. Oh, you know what? I skipped freaking hashrate.no today. What an idiot. Huh. Let's just check. Yeah. Aleo seems to be top of the chart still for most of the coins. I mean, most of the cards. BlockX and Pyron. Yeah, I freaking totally skipped this. I knew I was missing something this morning. So went right over it. Floor on the 6800 XT. Interesting. Good morning, Miss Pocket Change in the chat. I thought I saw you somewhere. Hello. Good morning. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Flashbang, guys. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at a 61. Again, I think the needle's going to go more towards the center. Hopefully it gravitates towards there. That's what we need, to be honest. And with that being said, that's going to be it, guys. I got to get out of here. Daddy duty calls. Kids need to get to school. Real quick, I wanted to thank everybody that participated and helped with the GoFundMe that I had for my close friend that passed away, sadly, at a motorcycle accident. Yeah, I went to the wake and funeral yesterday, so I got like no sleep, like 2 hours of sleep. But you guys are amazing. We raised $11,000 and it helped them immensely. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all you guys. You're all fantastic. Guys, have a good day. Happy Monday. Appreciate you all for hanging out with me. I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, peace out and have a good day.
She don't hawk to her, we don't talk to her.
I love titties.
Perfect.
Spit on that thing.
Eat shit, Gary.